Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ryan with Great Lakes Storm Chasing Network. We're going to go ahead and give you guys the update in regards to some storm potential tonight across Wisconsin and Michigan, severe potential tomorrow in Ohio, and then looking ahead to the early part of next week for portions of Wisconsin, Illinois, and perhaps Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio as well. So, if you're new here, we go live anytime there's severe weather expected or just general updates. We'll give you guys the update as soon as we possibly can. We also live stream radar and chasing, so you guys will be covered from all ends of things. But we're going to go ahead and start tonight with the first order. We're going to go in order from tonight all the way up until Tuesday. We'll cover Wednesday and Thursday as well, but details that far out are kind of, sporadic at this point. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in here to tonight across Wisconsin and northern Michigan. We do have two models we're going to use. One's the NAM, one's the HRRR. We're going to look at this very closely here, although I will say right now severe weather is not expected. However, I would not be shocked to get a few larger size hail reports tonight across northern Michigan and Wisconsin in particular after midnight tonight. So on your screen here is midnight Eastern time, 11 p.m. Central time. So out Wisconsin, the UP, you guys are getting the storms tonight. This is going to traverse south-southeast across the UP into northern. This is 4 a.m. at this point Eastern time here in Michigan. Any of these storms may contain gusty winds, large hail. I'm not going to say large hail, medium-sized hail, potentially some large hail trying to mix in here. It's not going to be a widespread or a prolific type of situation, but there are going to be thunderstorms that do have potential to produce some type of hail, probably a little bit of gusty winds, not severe winds, just some gusty winds, and also a lot of lightning with these as well as that moves through. This is going to move into the central and northern parts of the state. So if you're in South Michigan, you guys don't get in on that tonight. You may see a shower or two around the area, possibly if you're south of the I-96 corridor there. But otherwise, this activity tonight is going to stay to the north here. This is one model. Let's look at the other model, the HRRR. Go ahead and move this back here to the afternoon run. Again, same general area of interest here. This is about 1 a.m. Eastern, midnight Central. We're seeing some showers and storms, a little less organized on this model, but still general same areas here. We're going to have a lot of lightning with these, potentially some medium-sized hail, and potentially some gusty winds here. There is no severe threat for this tonight, although there is some indication that we could see some isolated instances of some severe hails, which is why I bring it to attention here for you guys. That's for tonight into the early morning Sunday hours. The risk area tonight does include those general areas from northern Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, into northern lower in a general thunderstorm risk, all the way down into the thumb of Michigan, just north of Detroit there. That's pretty much in line with what these models are saying. So pretty much a good forecast there from the SPC. So just keep in mind if you live in northern Michigan or northern Wisconsin for some storms overnight tonight, which could be loud and might produce some hail. Next risk is going to be, again, for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Taking a look more so at the Ohio region, we're looking at a risk, low-end risk here for right now. It's level 1 out of 5. And unless you're further east towards Youngstown, Akron area, it's a little bit higher threat over there. It's a slight risk level 2 out of 5 for those areas there. But if you're in Pennsylvania, we don't cover Pennsylvania, but if you know people who do live in Pennsylvania, there is an enhanced risk over there, level 3 out of 5. So we're getting kind of up there now in levels, but that's out of our area. But I know a lot of people who watch our channel do have friends and family outside of the region. So if you guys have friends and family in Pennsylvania, be sure to send them a text and let them know, hey, you got severe weather potential coming in for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Overall, though, back into Ohio, we expect storms to fire up roughly the afternoon time frame as early as 2 p.m., although most models do indicate that maybe a little bit further to the east towards the Pennsylvania border here. This model in particular fires storms up here just to the east of Cleveland all the way up toward Erie, Pennsylvania, and that's going to move very quickly across the eastern portions of Ohio into Pennsylvania there. But again, this is just one model. We look at a couple other models as well. This is the other model, the HRRR. A similar picture here for tomorrow. We're getting the afternoon time frames here. We're seeing some cells pop up here late afternoon, early evening across eastern Ohio. Just have to watch these. The environment tomorrow across much of the region, actually much of the region, we go ahead and zoom this forward. all this coloration here from Illinois all the way into Ohio is overlap of wind shear and overlap of instability. However, that's just two ingredients. Over here further west, we have no trigger to get storms going like we do east into Ohio. So that's why we're seeing storms firing up into eastern Ohio. But I will say, if we do get any storms that fire anywhere across Indiana, or perhaps as far east as east or far west as eastern Illinois, it's unlikely, but those storms may carry some potential for some strong storms as well. Although the trigger for storms is tied much farther east towards the Pennsylvania-Ohio border, which is why you see that risk over that far east. So that's going to be for Monday. The hazards tomorrow are going to be one isolated tornadoes, not a high risk for these, but it's a risk nonetheless. Pay attention to. We'll be watching that closely. The main risk is going to be severe wind, in particular, closer again towards the Ohio-Pennsylvania border there, towards Youngstown, down towards the Zanesville area, up toward Akron. You guys in particular have the highest threat for severe damaging wind gusts above 60 miles per hour. And then secondary threat as well is going to be your hail threat up to 1 inch in diameter. So quarters, they can dent your car, put a crack in your windshield. Just not a good situation either way if you get caught in a severe storm tomorrow, or at all, really, just anytime in general. But tomorrow is specifically here. Excuse me. But overall, the all hazards threat is pretty much for the entire area that you see here in dark green and also yellow areas. Further east you go, the higher that threat becomes. Main timing on this for tomorrow is going to be between 2 p.m. We'll say 10 p.m. Should be centered right roughly between 4 and 7 or so. But overall, we could see storms fire up early, or we could see them fire up late. It's going to be a matter of how strong that trigger is going to be tomorrow. So that's going to be for tomorrow and Tuesday, or sorry, for tomorrow in Ohio. Let's go ahead and focus a little bit better here on the threats coming up for early next week. There's a lot of talk and a lot of hype on social media about the upcoming active pattern. We've been trying to cover it as best we possibly can. We do have a severe risk to our west in basically, you can kind of see it over here in the plains here, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, reaching over here into Iowa and also Missouri. But you can tell here, Illinois is as far west as that threat will go. We don't see a threat here for Monday. Tuesday is the day to watch as that system that is causing our weather out to the west on Monday shifts further to the east, which is why we see a 15%, or we can equivalent that to a level 2 out of 5, a slight risk, they call it. That's going to be for southern Wisconsin, the entire state of Illinois, and also western Indiana. Likely, if this doesn't change or shift, we're going to see a lower risk extend further north and further east, probably into southwest Michigan. As far east as probably, northwest Ohio, west Ohio areas will probably get in on this risk. But overall, the highest area of interest right now is going to be the further west here towards Illinois, south Wisconsin, and west Indiana, where this yellow slight risk is in effect here. The overall hazards for Tuesday do appear to be all hazards: tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. And I'll go ahead and mention this again. We've been trying to highlight this very closely and very carefully, but how Monday, this risk out here to our west plays out is going to affect how Tuesday is going to play out further to the east. We could have morning rain that kills our instability for storms. We could have outflow boundaries kind of shift and stall fronts. There's a lot of moving parts to this forecast. We have to kind of wait and see. But overall, there's enough confidence here with the system moving through that we're going to have some dynamics in play here for severe weather, which is why you see this risk already in place, past that day 3 time frame we usually get severe risks introduced. So overall, this will become a day 3 threat tomorrow. So we'll have a better idea of like other risks around. There's also talk we're going to get an upgrade here to an enhanced risk, probably for portions of Illinois if I had to guess. But overall, we should see an extension further east and north of a marginal risk, a level 1 risk. Further north, probably into Wisconsin, probably further east into most of Indiana, perhaps southwest Michigan, and also west Ohio as well, getting in on that action for Tuesday. Now, past Tuesday timeframe, though, we do have a significant drop off in our confidence. We do have an active pattern that continues to shape up here. The overall confidence right now is quite low in terms of where it's going to set up. So we look at our model here for wind shear and instability overlapping here, just to get a general idea of where it could happen. Here is Tuesday. We see that low pressure here. I'm circling it out here. in western Iowa. And all along that cold front here, along this low pressure, that's going to be your area of interest for Tuesday. But as we shift more so into Wednesday, we see that threat does shift further to the east. South Michigan, Indiana, most of Ohio, all getting in on a threat potentially for Wednesday. So we have to watch Wednesday closely. And then we are watching Thursday as well, but how Wednesday plays out will likely shift any threat for Thursday further south. We don't see much in the way of any instability return to the region on Thursday. We do see it further to our south here across, we'll say, Arkansas area, 1 point south into Dixie Alley. So Thursday is trending more so for no threat here in our region. But overall, Tuesday and Wednesday are days to watch across the region. And again, this is just going to be a general idea of what we could see here in terms of placement of risks. This is not a forecast, it's just a general idea. So do pay attention to future forecasts. We will have you guys covered as we get closer. This is Saturday, so Sunday morning we'll have day 1, day 2, day 3. So we're going to have Tuesday's outlook to share with you guys tomorrow morning. And then we're also going to have Wednesday's outlook to share with you more so on Monday morning when that becomes a day 3 risk. And why that's significant is past day 3 with the SPC, we only have broad areas such as this area right here. Like, for example, this is a day 3 outlook here. We see the greens, the dark green, the yellow, the orange. That is your day 3, but this is a day 4. All you're going to get with day 4 is a 15 or a 30% risk, nothing more, nothing less. So it's significant when we hit that day 3 time frame, because at that point confidence will increase. We'll have a better idea for areas and so on and so forth, as well as hazards potentially as well. So day 3 point is really the time we start getting detailed with these forecasts. So we'll have to kind of wait until tomorrow morning to get an idea for Tuesday, and Monday morning to get an idea for Wednesday. With that being said, that's all I had to share with you guys. Recapping this very briefly, we have a storm threat tonight in northern Michigan and northern Wisconsin. Not expecting severe weather, but there is potential for some large hail up there, as well as perhaps some non-severe gusty winds, as well as a lot of lightning. And then that moves into Ohio for a threat for tomorrow afternoon and evening. We do see a marginal and a marginal and slight risk. Got to find this again. There we go. Marginal and slight risk there for Ohio. Further to the east, we have an enhanced risk in Pennsylvania. We don't cover that state, but you guys do have friends and family who live in that state. Do send them a text or get them alerted to that threat. And then also watching the potential for severe weather returning for Tuesday and also Wednesday for portions of the region as well. So with that being said, that's all I have to share with you guys. I'll hop in the comments here. If you guys got questions, feel free to drop those in chat. And no problem, Tusk. This is what I love to do. Dennis says, another day, we're in my area. We're not going to see too much of anything. We've been dodging bullets. Yeah, Ohio has been really kind of dodging those bullets lately. We've been having these threats that kind of materialize, but then kind of we have like a day 2 or day 3 threat that says, hey, we could have some good severe weather in Ohio. I guess it'd be the day of. It's like, hey, where'd it go? It happens sometimes. It's unfortunate that we have to forecast that, but that's how weather works sometimes. Cleveland is out of the threat, yes, for right now. Although you could still get some thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, so don't write those off. But severe weather looks more likely to your east and south. I dropped something here. I don't know where it went though. Look for that when I hop off here. Do me a favor before we hop off here and hit the like button on the stream for me. I'd appreciate that. Helps the algorithm boost in our favor. It is free to do, and it significantly is appreciated. Good evening on this beautiful day, says Chris. A little windy here in mid-Michigan, but the sun is out. Yes, it is a beautiful day. Not just here in Michigan, but across the region. It is a sunny, a little bit breezy, but it is a gorgeous day here in the low to mid-60s. Love this kind of weather. But we do have a return of cold temperatures coming on the horizon, so let's kind of watch that close. Probably a return, maybe some hard frost coming into the picture as well. Let's keep an eye on that potential. I don't see any other questions popping in here, so hopefully I covered everything. With that being said, I'm going to hop off here. We will be live tomorrow if needed to cover severe weather, and as well as Tuesday, Wednesday if needed. So with that being said, what's the smoke over your shoulder? Is that a humidifier? That is a humidifier, Chris. I have without doing TMI, I have a little bit of a nosebleed problem with dry weather. So I have to have these. I don't have to, but I prefer to have some amount of humidifier going around me. So I can't believe you saw that on my screen, though. Yeah, I got a couple in my house, Chris. They work great, especially at night. I have not had a nosebleed since I got this off Amazon for $30. So great investment in my book. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. We'll be live tomorrow if need be. We'll be live also on Tuesday and Wednesday if need be, covering severe weather. If any of our chasers are in the field, we will be streaming live chasing from the risk areas. So with that being said, stay tuned for updates from our page as well as the NWS and SPC. We'll be posting those graphics as new data becomes available. With that being said, I'm going to hop off here. Stay safe and enjoy this beautiful day outside, guys. Stay safe.